Hello and welcome to Sim Racing Live. Today we're previewing Pure Rock Crawling, which is an early access game on Steam. First of all, we'll just go through and I'll show you the graphic settings and control settings there over on the right. I'm not sure why they're not showing up, but I had already set everything to Ultra. This is in 4K, by the way, so if you have got the higher screen resolution, pop up that resolution. Also, if you are running a 1080 or less screen, you can also increase that resolution. That will help with the YouTube compression and give you a little bit of a better image to look at. Just going through the cars here that are available at the moment in this early access game. You can see there's 5 cars. And we're off to the stage selection. I'm not sure if you can notice, but I'm using a controller and it makes it very difficult to see. There's box around the graphics user interface is very difficult to see. Anyway, here we are, just starting our first run through Pure Rock Challenge. Sorry. I don't believe this was the first track. I just played it for an hour, I believe, and just took some choice footage for you all to see. Obviously, the idea of the game is to go from point to point and not to touch any of the cones, which can be quite difficult on some. And the way this vehicle bounces around, you've got to be a little bit more careful. It is quite forgiving, as you saw there. That's a reset. Now, I don't know. I don't really like these sort of things. I kind of think that if you get stuck, it's not a very big track. You could quite easily go back and just redo it. Make you think about tracks a little bit more, or not track as such, but an environment. The other thing as well, yes, sorry, you've got a time obviously up at the top. You start with 5 minutes, and you've got to get through 10 gates and cross the finish line. As you can see, we're just coming up to gate number 9. I am ploughing through this really at the moment. Not really giving it a huge amount of pre-thought. As you can see there, I just clipped one of the cones. Crashing down there. And hopefully, if I can straighten this up, get across the finish line. There we go. So this is another car and a different environment for you to see. I'll be showing you 3 cars and 3 environments. I'm not going to show you all of them because if you do buy it, there's something for you to discover when you buy that. I mean, yeah, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. As I said, it's currently available on Steam. It's £11.39. Now, if you're like me and you've got more money than sense, then buy it. Buy it now. Just click the buy button. But if you're like, I would imagine most of the people watching this, I'd wait a little while. So I think this title's got, it's got good potential. But I would wait a little while before you click that buy button. I'll keep everybody updated as we go along. Every sort of, I don't know if when I see fit to do, or when this game actually finally releases, do a full review of it, not just this preview. But anyway, there's some things, moving on, there's some things that I personally would like to see in this game, or how this game is going to develop. But I think this game needs a damage system for the vehicles. I mean, at the moment you can just trash it and smash it and nothing seems to happen. And I think you kind of need this game sort of, it's crying out for you to be that little bit more careful and plan your route a little bit more. And I think a damage system would really help with that. Secondly, I'd like wheel support. At the moment, this is keyboard and mouse, or a joypad. So, yeah, wheel support would be great. Cockpit view. Now, for me, I think this title would really, really benefit from a cockpit view. It already has VR implemented, although I've not tried it. But it doesn't have any other view other than the one that you're seeing now. Obviously you can move the camera around with your right thumbstick, so you can have a look at your terrain and what you're sort of approaching to help plan out your route a little bit more. But yeah, cockpit view. And also in this cockpit, there needs to be a driver. At the moment, it's just an empty cockpit, so it's just a little gripe. There needs to be some kind of difficulty levels as well. Whether this is less time, remove the reset function, or to even, and I don't really like this, there's another feature in this called bump. So if you're just stuck, you just press the button until you bounce out. But, yeah, it's, again, one of these things that I think that maybe should be omitted completely from the game, or as I said, they're not really massively long tracks. To start again from the beginning, it's no biggie. Other things I'd like to see in this game, I'd like to see some special events. So some special events in a stadium possibly. You know, going over other cars, jumps possibly. I just think this game needs a little bit more content. As you can see there, went on its side and miraculously I just happened to be back on both wheels again. But, anyway, just coming up to finish, as you can see. This is the third car I'm going to show you with the third stage, for the final stage. So other things I'd like to see in this game. Obviously we'd like to see more cars. At the moment there's 5. And there needs to be more environment. We need a little bit of a better graphical user interface, I believe. It's basic, but and some more options as well, especially in the graphics department. There was no option to set resolution anywhere there. So yeah, that could do with an update. Now, talking about environments, not only would it be nice to see some more environments, but it would also be nice to see some spectators. And maybe some kind of a course laid out. It doesn't have to be a very enclosed course, it can be over quite a big area. But events like this, you would have some kind of, you would have spectators. You would have people watching and cheering you on. So yeah, that, you know, I'd like to see some leaderboards on the game. At the moment I don't see any. As well, possibly some kind of multiplayer implementation. I'd like to see the ability to map your own controls to whatever you want. You're not able to do this at the moment, but we are in early access, so, you know, again, there's a long ways to go. And finally, for me, a career mode. It's all very well doing this, but after about half an hour, I'm kind of had enough and I want to put it back down again. There's nothing really compelling to make me go, oh, I've just got to do one more. I've just got to do one more. So, if the dev is listening to this, you've got a lot of work to do. Anyhow, until the next time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.